This is going to be a video about the new MMO coming out called Palia, which is a very different take on an MMO. Basically like a very, very chill styled MMO. And I believe the beta is out. I don't have the beta myself, but we're going to watch this video about it and then we'll see.
What up, boys? And also probably girls. I've been playing Palia now for about 20 hours.
It's an open beta soon,
I've got a solid grasp on the game's overall mechanics, and to set you guys up for its open beta period starting on August 10th, I scripted this video as a first impressions for the game catered towards the more general MMORPG audience that should answer the question, is Palia any good? And is it a game for someone looking for an MMORPG?
Yeah,
but before we get into that, our beautiful patrons and coped out the wazoo Twitch subs and I would love for you to grab yourself because I did not stream this gameplay. In fact, I chose to play Palia over Baldur's Gate 3. Yes,
that is a risky business with how popular Baldur's Gate is right now. From what I have seen from Palia, from my perspective, I don't think it's really a game that I would like enjoy streaming and like being like, oh, let's content with it. But I think it's like a very chill game to just sit down and just like have a comfy time with, right? You have a little cup of tea maybe, and you just chill and play the game. It's a very different style of MMO.
Sacrifices I make for you idiots really better pay off.
Yeah, Animal Crossing MMO. Exactly, Tickle. Yeah, exactly.
One day, I swear. However, I will be streaming Palia tonight at 8 p.m. GMT and twitch.tv/Narcoverse, where I will clear up any questions and misconceptions about the game in case this video doesn't answer any questions that you have as a nerd desperate for a new MMO. Now, with all that bollocks out of the way, let's begin, shall we?
We're not. We're not. Okay, I'm not. Okay.
Out of the gate, I want to preface the game and reiterate a few things that I've learned since the first video I did covering this game's initial announcement trailer. The most important thing going into this game is that Palia is not like your other low-budget scam MMOs. They let
Okay, that's not quite what I expected him to say before I said yeah, but okay.
Label their intent clearly on their website and have never tried to advertise themselves as something it's not. Palia is a cozy, sim-like MMO that offers a plethora of roleplay options and gathering/crafting gameplay.
Very different style.
The caveat to this is that Palia has no combat. In fact, it doesn't even have a health bar. You can
the style of like the UI and everything like that for some reason really reminds me of Raft. Not Wrath of the Lich King, but RAFT, the boat, the sea game that I played with Savix. And honestly, I don't really mind that too much. I think that's a very comfy, like chill looking style. Little bit Fortnite as well, yeah, Fortnite kind of style, but it's like a very soft colors. It's like kind of comfy, inviting. I like the UI a lot. Actually, I do like it. But again, it's not like a oh, let's go, destroy some people in an arena kind of game. It's a very chill style, which probably is fine.
Not die in this game, and the game isn't even designed for that anyway. In addition, the game features a server or shard or layer type system that is capped at 25 players, meaning this isn't exactly massively in Origin. It's more like a large mega server of small 25 player shards.
So it's not like an open world where you can go to Ogrimmar, you see like 100, 200, 300 people, or like in the city. It's like you play in a little, that's interesting.
This make it an
so you can play
MMO?
with your friends and whatever.
In my opinion, no, but apparently the phrase MMO still sells, even after New World ran it through the mud. If these two important points haven't already killed your boner, then that's okay, because Palia probably isn't trying to appeal to you anyway. There is a large market out there of Facebook mums who would find this game extremely attractive.
That is true.
Its casual nature is trying to replicate that very casual Facebook-esque game, as you'll see when we begin showing off the game's aspects a little later. One final...
I know a lot of people are probably going to say, oh, this looks boring, this is not cool, I don't like this. But that's probably because it's not catering to you. And I don't even know if the game probably doesn't even cater to me either. But I really do see the appeal of it. Like a nice, chill, just comfy game. I don't know, again, if I would market it as an MMO. It seems like Maybe it's because there's a server, maybe you can make a guild, maybe there's like, you know, factions and stuff like that, but maybe that's why it's set as an MMO, but yeah.
Disclaimer before we move on to the gameplay, Palia
Social
is
MMO,
indeed in a beta phase right now. However, this beta phase is in a very similar vein to Fortnite's release. That being, they are not wiping the game anymore from this point onwards. This is essentially a soft launch of the game as stated on their website, so do not feel discouraged about losing your progress playing the beta, because you simply won't. Unless...
Interesting. So you actually keep your beta progression to the real launch of the game? Because every single time we have been on a beta for WoW or anything like that, I wouldn't say I have made fun of people, but like when people come and ask me like, oh, are you going to keep your progress for the beta into release? And I'm always like, no, of course not. That doesn't make any sense. But now they're doing that. Yeah, early access. Yeah, it's almost like an early access, I suppose, because if you keep your progress, then you're already progressing in the game, even if it's a beta.
There's a bug going on where you enter your housing plot and then you delete all your progress. But don't worry about that, it's just a bug.
Interesting.
Is this a cop-out and an excuse to release an unfinished game? Well, allow me a few more minutes of your time to explain what this game is all about after 20 extremely try-hard hours exploring every facet of Palia so you can enjoy Baldur's Gate 3 without the fear of missing out on this game.
Dude, everybody's playing Baldur's Gate lately. Okay, the dented one.
When you start in Palia, you're met with a very polished UI and character customization. There is only one...
Yeah, it's really giving me Raft vibes. The graphics, it really is.
Race, humans, but the point of the game's casual story is that the ancient humans have returned to the world and you, the players, are them returning humans. That's why everyone is so interested in being your wife/husband, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. As you've probably noticed, the game's art style and customization resembles that very, well, let's be honest, it's Fortnite, isn't it?
Yeah, kinda. But I don't think that's necessarily bad. I think Fortnite is a little bit too cartoony for me personally, but whenever we played Raft, I kind of like that cartoony style a little bit. I think it kind of looks kind of nice in some games like this. Well,
it's not my cup of tea, but it certainly appeals to an audience. It has fairly decent customization options that are 10 times more fleshed out than what New World offered at its launch. Multi-billion-dollar company, by the way, but it kind of...
He does not like New World. We are like 4 minutes in, and it's the second time he's throwing shade at New World.
Has to, at the end of the day. Palia is very casual after all, so hanging out as a character that resembles you with a bunch of online friends is pretty much what the game is trying to do. All throughout my gameplay, though, I cannot emphasize the word polish. Considering this game is made by ex-Blizzard devs, I am very pleased to see that that level of polish still exists. I found myself feeling very nostalgic during my time playing Palia. It reminded me a lot of them old lobby-style chat rooms like Habbo Hotel or hanging out by the willow trees in RuneScape back when I was 14 years old. Talking with the friends
Oh my god, dude. It looks quite... It honestly looks quite pretty for what it is.
Thank you, Dono. And just straight up chilling whilst I perform very casual tasks. These
I kind of like the look.
So-called casual tasks in Palia are very plentiful, ranging from something as trivial as picking flowers all the way along the spectrum to fishing super rare species that only spawn at a certain time of day. But
yeah, so the quests are like fishing, they're like planting, it's like a Farmville kind of like chill thing. To be honest, this is gonna appeal more to the female audience. It's a chill casual game, no combat, no fight, no drama, just chilling. Yeah. I mean, maybe the only drama you're gonna be getting is like who caught the fish before the other person, right? Like you went to the fishing pond and then Sarah was there before Kevin, and then Kevin got really angry because Sarah fished up the good fish, right? So yeah, there's probably gonna be a lot of hardcore WoW enjoyers or MMO players or competitive Andes that are gonna not like this, but it was never targeted towards that audience anyway, so who cares, right?
Before we begin talking about the moment-to-moment gameplay, it's worth discussing Palia's housing systems first. Because you're one of the famous ancient humans, the residents of this world offer you a housing plot to build the house of your dreams in. This housing plot is an instanced location that you can invite your friends to, or, provided you have an invite, can join anyone else's. The plot functions very similarly to how the old Harvest Moon games worked, or, for a more modern reference, very similar to Stardew Valley. To begin with, your plot is limited in size and is clogged up by all sorts of rocks, plants, and trees that act as a great way to begin your gathering adventures. Palia offers a multitude of gathering professions that all progress and level up, earning you new tool recipes and the ability to access rarer materials.
Honestly, it's kind of cool.
In turn, progress your tools even further. A very traditional material tier system that anyone who's played a game in their entire life will know what I mean. These professions range from mining stone and ore,
fishing,
chopping various
skinning.
types of wood, collecting herbs and flowers.
I saw there was also, I was about to say hunting. You actually could go hunt as well, which is kind of dope.
Hunting deer for hide, capturing bugs, and of course, it wouldn't be complete without some good old-fashioned fishing. The wood chopping and mining right now are a little too restrictive gameplay-wise as they root you in place, and sometimes it feels a little clunky. So I'd like to see them loosen this up a little. However, the controls for these are very easy to manage, as it's just as easy as holding down the left mouse button. You can select any tool from your tool wheel or keybind them to swap on the fly, which makes it super easy to stop and chase down a deer if one is unlucky enough to spawn in your line of sight.
It looks kind of comfy, man, okay? I'm going to rephrase it again. Yeah, there's probably a lot of people that are going to hate on this because it doesn't have combat. It doesn't have PvP. You can't teabag someone in STV on a rogue named XX Killer XX, right? But that's not the point of it. That's not the point at all. It's the point is just to be like a chill, comfy, like kind of Sims, Stardew Valley kind of game, and that's fine.
Evidently ends up in you getting immersed in these distractions, which,
chill.
in my opinion, is the sign of a good game. The hunting mechanics and bug catching mechanics are enjoyable and really focus on that exploration aspect. But for me, so far, the fishing in particular is my favorite part of this experience.
Yeah, it seems cool.
The minigame is very relaxing and not too stressful, even when out hooking.
It's called Palia, guys. The reason why we're taking a look at this is, first of all, because it's a new MMO coming out, and it's always interesting to see what's changing in the MMO market, and also it's made by ex-Blizzard developers. So it's actually, there was a bunch of Blizzard developers that went and created their own sort of like what is it called, like company or whatever you call it, like a producer. Can't remember the name of that, Danish, but it's basically like a bunch of Blizzard developers that went and created their own gaming studio. Yeah, exactly, gaming studio, and then they made this.
Rare fish among the insane amount of diversity when
Fishing
it comes
is cool,
to Palia's fish species. As I mentioned earlier, some of them only spawn in specific times of the day, so collecting all of these fish are going to take a decent amount of time and effort. Finally, Palia also features a fully fleshed out farming mechanic that is very well designed, but much like Stardew Valley, is bound by in-game time. And we'll talk a little bit about time.
Yeah, okay, so it's like you planned all your stuff, you can wake up in the morning, plan all your stuff, come home from work, and then, pick it all up. This might be the mob killer, guys.
All the professions feed into each other, so you're really encouraged not to focus on one specific thing. It's more about you progress everything in tandem for an overall completionist experience.
Seems chill. Running Gamer said, looks like a fun game I can play with my younger ones. And I think that's the point of it. That's the point of it. Jamika, thank you for the 6 months.
Now that we've discussed the gathering professions, let's discuss Palia's building and crafting mechanics.
Interesting.
Building your house is very simple. You go to your housing plot, interact with your crafting bench, and place objects down using a bird's eye grid. It is, again, much like the rest of the game, very polished. But unfortunately, this is also where the game begins to turn me off and reveal a few of its weaker points. Processing your raw materials through various crafting stations and building significant structures within your plot costs time.
But I think that's the point, right? Like, you invest a lot of time and a lot of resources into making like the most badass house you can, right? And then you like in classic WoW, like you're badass if you have rank 14 and like the best possible gear. And in this game, you're badass if you put in months of work to build like a massive patio house with like like a pool and everything like that. I think that's the point of it. And I think that's a lot of people what they like, right? They like that slow, steady grind that they can just put their time into, because that's what it's about. That's what MMOs are about, really. Before you ask, no, you can't pay to reduce crafting wait times. Okay, so there's no pay to wait, I guess. Pay to skip.
cost is proportional to the material tier and the size of the structure in question, meaning that higher level materials take longer to process.
That's fine.
As it currently stands, you cannot speed this crafting up in any way, so if you're impatient, then this particular aspect might be a little frustrating for you.
Okay, I'm gonna rephrase what he meant here. I think he meant to say, this game is just not for you. Because I think the point of these kind of games is the long process of just like gathering resources slowly, building it up, and like it's a long process, and that's what these games are about. I played a game way back on Facebook, literally, oh my gosh, 18 years ago, called Farmville, and Farmville was literally just a simulator of time. You logged in, you planted some crops, and then you logged in the next day, you planted some more crops, you logged in a week later, you planted some more crops, and it was more and more, right? And it was actually fine for what it was, and that's that kind of style too.
Their in-game store right now doesn't sell any kind of speed-up convenience tokens, but because of the way this game is set up, it feels...
But dude, it's fine. You wake up in the morning, you set your crops, you plant everything, and when you come home from work or you go home from like whatever you're doing, you come home and then it's all ready. And it's like you come home to something that's like that's been like, cooking all day long, and you can go home and collect the reward, right? It's not like a game where you just sit and play 10 hours per day. You log in, you do your stuff, and you let it cook, all right?
It's very easy for them to add this kind of convenience.
Oh, that's in-game time. Okay, so it doesn't continue while you're out. Okay.
Space microtransaction. However, they have stated on their store that they are respecting their players and do not plan to sell anything that affects.
I think it would, right? If it's 8 hours in-game, maybe I'd got one guide. It was just one guy that said that, to be fair.
Convenience tokens, but because of the way this game...
If this is in-game, that's kind of shitty, but if it's just time, then it's fine. That would be stupid? Yeah, I think so.
...is set up, it feels very easy for them to add this kind of convenience-based microtransaction. However, they have stated on their store that they are respecting their players and do not plan to sell anything that affects gameplay.
That's cool.
We're on the note of monetization, they are already selling a decent quantity of cosmetic skins in their store, but
I don't really have an issue. If games want to sell some cosmetics, you can buy some skins or whatever. I mean, it's fine, really. I don't really have an issue with that. Like, if you don't like them, you don't have to buy them. But if you can buy stuff to get an advantage in the game, that's where I have a little bit of a problem with it. Am I a big fan of these, transmog, whatever the heck? Not really. I don't really like them. I would never really buy them myself. But I don't really have a major problem with it, honestly. Like, it is what it is.
I think I'm the last person to be criticizing a practice like this.
Pay to convenience, yeah.
Now, to conclude with a few additional mechanics, there is a romance system where you can seduce various NPCs, but this is one of Palia's daily and weekly gated activities, so I've not had the chance to really progress these systems yet. You can, however, read a guide about it on their website, but I don't want to spoil myself, or...
Wait, there's a guide on how you can, like, seduce them? There's like a seduction guide. Oh, we really are playing Baldur's Gate now.
Any potential audience. And finally, a cooking minigame that is used to consume crops, meat, and fish that you've gathered. The food in Palia also resembles a Facebook-like energy system, filling up your focus bar and allowing your actions to consume said focus bar.
That was the same thing on Farmville on Facebook. You had like limited things you could kind of do in the day, right? Increases focus as a simple eating. When you earn experience, some of your focus is used to increase the total experience earned. Your focus bonus is 25%. This can be increased by spending renown at shrines. Okay.
For an experience boost. There are many other mechanics in the game, like climbing and gliding, but if you've made it this far, you're likely very interested.
Okay, so it's not a limiting thing, it's just bonus XP. Okay, so it's not limiting you, it's just giving you more, basically, and then it kind of runs out. Okay, that's fair. I don't think you should limit people the amount of stuff that people could play. I think it's completely fine if they make people wait for a certain thing to get finished, but limiting the things that you can do is not that great, I think.
The game in the first place, so I wouldn't want to spoil it for you. I will just conclude with one final statement. Palia is not for me.
Yeah, same.
I've given it a considerable try, and after exploring its base mechanics, it's pretty obvious the game was never meant to be for me, or
That's fair.
for anyone looking for a new MMORPG. Palia is appealing to a much more casual audience. And that's okay. Coming from a game like Ashes of Creation, I think we're all too familiar with the term, this game isn't for everyone. But as usual.
And that's good. Like, thank God we have different people in this world, like that we're not all the same, because that would be insanity, right? So yeah, is this game a game for me? No, probably not. I probably wouldn't have too much fun playing a game like this, but I can really see why people would. Like, it's a very chill kind of game. You log in, you do some crops, you go fishing, you let your stuff kind of cook up, and then you can log in and build a house and like continue to do that. That's cool. I mean, for what it is, that's a chill game.
This game isn't for everyone.
Yeah.
But as usual, I am just one nerd.
It's a good video.
Desperate for a good MMO, and I think everyone in my personal niche community likely already knew that Palia was going to be like this, so it's likely that they didn't make it to the end of the video. Therefore, I guess I'm left with a bunch of Palia enjoyers. So, wanna come and watch me conclude my time in Palia, show you around my abode, and update you on my progress at twitch.tv/Narcoverse, and hopefully, I'll see you in the next one because...
Good video.
You're high on opium.
This goddamn intro. I like an exit. I mean, chill game. I could see myself trying it out, but not on stream. I don't think I would really enjoy streaming a game like this, like making content for it and stuff like that. But it's a chill game. You can kind of just play and then have fun with it, really, right? I'll link the video.